So we are here with Sunday of Generation Mommy. This is her part two. We already talked about a lot of her entrepreneur experience. So today we're going to get into some of those services that she has, just some closing impact questions, and we're going to see all that she has going on. So when you create a course or training, what does the development process look like from start to finish?
Oh, so yeah, that's a good question. So the overall, like the purpose of the courses and the training was to be able to reach the masses with the knowledge sharing and education piece regarding maternal health. And so how I began creating that model was utilizing some of the same tools that I've had through the CAPA education that I received, and so all of the information that I received through CAPA training for postpartum doula, I repurpose it with my own spin, my own information, my own knowledge sharing, and created courses through that information.
Okay. Can you break down how your peer support groups actually work behind the scenes, the structure, topics, and engagement?
Yeah, so the peer support groups is a virtual setting where we come together, pregnant moms, postpartum moms, really any moms. Is I don't really have an age gap or your children must be a certain. I don't have any of that. It's really about moms coming together, sharing their story, sharing their information. Again, knowledge sharing is key when it comes to peer support because we learn from other moms, we learn from their experiences, we learn from through their resources as well. And so the peer support is literally just being that person that is coming to the mom, another mom, and just sharing that information. And so we get together virtually once a month. We have that set up, and so we talk about different topics. So I usually come with a topic, a particular topic,
Mhm.
to kind of start off the conversation. And we just have that conversation. It's open dialogue, it's honest, it's confidential. And so that way, whatever is shared in that room, it does not leave that room. It is really utilized for being able to take those experiences and those stories from other moms and applying it to your life.
Okay. Do you ever plan to meet in person with these moms?
I do. And so what I would like to do for the future, because a lot of it is virtual, but what I would like to do is set up that monthly meeting where we're meeting in a purpose place where we are gathering, but I want it to be where people can bring their children. Like I want it to be where people feel comfortable bringing their children. And so I haven't quite found a spot that I feel like is open to both moms and their children where they can be able to be themselves and not feel like they have to tiptoe around. And so that's going to come. But right now we have it virtual so that it is convenient for the mom where they don't feel like they have to come outside of the house and find or make arrangements for their children.
Okay. I love that because it just feeds right into your focus group of a person. Like it's a well-rounded thinking. Love that.
Yeah.
um, how do you incorporate evidence-based practices or public health data into your educational programs?
Yeah. So again, just utilizing those accredited credentials as far as like sites that have that information that we're going to rely on those certain ones like the Department of Health. I utilize a lot of those sites to gather my information when it comes to data, utilizing those numbers. I actually partner with some of the epidemiologists with the Virginia Department of Health to gather that information as well, so that way I can be accurate with my numbers. And so when I gather that information, I utilize that to, I guess, key in on certain topics that will be beneficial to the community.
Okay. How do you measure the impact of your programs on maternal health outcomes or mom well-being?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so it's kind of still in the works because I do have a time frame that I am measuring, but when it comes to like care coordination with different moms. So typically from the time that they're pregnant up into the through the first year of their pregnancy, my model or Generation Mommy's model is to be throughout that first year and to track all of the different um, if there's maternal health complications that's due to pregnancy, we're tracking that through that first year of life. However, there are the training that we are also measuring, and that is measuring by the number of people who are participants,
Mm,
the number of community health workers, the number of doulas. We break that information down based off of who attends those courses and who completes those courses.
okay. Do you collect feedback or track trends among the mothers you serve? What are some insights you've learned?
Yeah, absolutely. Feedback is one of my go-to tools for creating a lot of the courses and creating the content that I do put out there. And so during those courses, during those webinars, especially the ones that are free, I am collecting that feedback from those participants in those that attends those courses. And so those questions are geared towards my future courses as well. And so I also send out in my monthly newsletter as well. I try to do like surveys or polls as well so I can gather information from the community, from the people that are following. And that information also helps me to deliver the content that is going to be meaningful and useful as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
What challenges do mothers face that people outside this work don't usually see or understand?
Think it's more so about balancing. Mothers are trying to juggle different hats: a working mom, a mom who is also a wife, someone who is head of household as well. And so a lot of the I guess, questions or the stories that I hear is about balancing all of it. I'm here to say that, while I do believing in balancing, I will say honestly, and this is just from my personal experiences and just speaking with other moms, like I don't want to say there's never truly a balance, but where one is having most attention, the other area may lack.
Mm,
And it's really about prioritization to me, honestly.
mhm,
And that's kind of what I share with a lot of the moms that I speak with and work with. That prioritize what is actually most important, right? And so safety and well-being is always number one. And so we do provide those resources as well, with making sure that pointing mothers into the right direction if they're needing transportation resources, if they're needing financial resources, we can connect them with community organizations that we can partner with, that we may know of, things that may organizations that may be word of mouth. And so that tends to try to help them find those resources to help balances some of those. I don't want to say, but it's just life,
mhm,
life decisions, responsibilities. And so that's one of the things that we in Generation Mommy, we pride ourselves on providing those resources. Um, when it comes to postpartum and birthing, it's a little bit different because you are transitioning into a new, I would say, new dimension in your life or new life stages. Even if you are a mother of multiple, it's
mhm.
still it's still a different. You're adjusting to new um, life experiences and milestones, right? And so some of the things that we provide is postpartum and or birth planning, which gives them that clarity, gives them that relief to be able to say, "Hey, listen, I have this set up." Because the best support is when it's already set up, in my opinion, versus having to figure it out when it's happening, right? A lot of times
Mhm.
we can go through life and like, I'm just going to take it one day at a time. But um, what we provide is that postpartum planning where we meet with those moms, we meet with those families, and we have those personalized sessions where we can say, well, what is it that you feel like you need going into your birthing experience? Or what is it that you need going into postpartum in those following weeks after having birth? Let's customize that so that the support already knows what it is that you are actually looking for.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. What systematic barriers in maternal health are you most passionate about addressing through your work?
Yeah. Um, what I am most passionate about and really what I have gotten into this work is about the maternal morbidities that are occurring with Black and Brown women. And so I am extremely passionate because I myself have experienced it as well, which we shared on that a little bit on our first interview. But I'm very passionate about ensuring that mothers have a healthier outcome. And when I say, or just a better experience, again, going back to our planning services where we can help customize those plans, where we can ensure that, hey, if there's an emergency situation or if these signs and symptoms starts to occur, this is what you need to do. This is the next step for you, where you don't feel like you just don't know and you get yourself into an emergency situation
Mm,
where you can be more informed, or the mother and the family can be more informed um, with the next decisions or the steps that they can take.
yeah. What's something about the maternal wellness field that you wish more doulas or maternal professionals understood?
That's a great question. Um, I so what I am also learning is that there's so much information out there, and that like no two birth experiences are the same, right? And so while there are support and there's doulas out there. I do think that being a doula is a calling. I will say that, um, and I think that going back to like no two births are the same. It's not really a textbook
Mm,
answer for a lot of the things that occur. I think it's really just about being informed. And when you are informed, it helps you build that confidence of just making decisions, advocating for yourself, right? And so doulas are there to help advocate when those moms are in those situations, right? But my model is to support, educate, and empower those women. And so when we can empower these mothers, these families, they can be able to be informed and they advocate for themselves as well. And so that's something that I wish that more and I'm not saying that they don't know, but
mhm,
just more so adopted the model of let's empower our moms so that they can advocate for themselves when we're not there. Or even if we are there, how are we going to advocate for these moms in the best way?
thank you.
Yeah.
How do you navigate boundaries doing emotional and educational work with moms who are often in vulnerable seasons?
Hmm. Um, Going back to those priorities, because one of the things that as women and as mothers, we try to wear all the hats and then we try to take care of everyone else except without taking care of ourselves. So one, self-care, and I know it's such a cliche word. However, it's been overused. I will say that. But self-care to me looks like um, really connecting with myself, number one. And when connecting with myself, like we can do all the things like, oh, the bubble baths and the, get your nails done and things of that nature. But to me, self care is really centering myself. Self care to me is um, connecting with a higher power and yoga, meditating, that self care to me so that I could fill my cup so that that it overflows, that it actually can give to the next person. That's my family. That's the women that I serve, the families that I serve, the communities that I'm in. But definitely ensuring that, I hold myself to my own self care rituals and my own self care as a priority.
When mothers look back years from now, what do you want Generation Mommy to have meant to them?
So it's such a meaningful question. What I would like for people to like walk away with after like receiving my services, one is saying like, I didn't know that, so I walked away learning something new, right? So in any time that a CHW or a doula come to any of my courses or trainings or webinars, or any moms come to my webinars, I want them to walk away with learning or gaining something from it, right? Let's start there. Two, I also want them to walk away feeling more empowered to say, I'm more informed and I can advocate for myself.
Good. Last question. How can the community best support your work right now?
Yeah, so that support my work, connecting me with those individuals that are in need of those services. So pregnant and postpartum women that are one needing assistance with just one navigating the healthcare system. If they're saying that, hey, I had these visits and I'm not feeling like I'm being heard or supported, right? What can I do? What are some of my options? Can you point me into the right direction for a resource or someone that will be willing to support me in this area? So if you have those, if those individuals are needing support, Generation Mommy is that resource for you. As well as like and follow. Those are always, marketing that piece. Yeah, so those are some of the ways that you can support Generation Mommy. I will also say that we accept donations. A lot of people don't necessarily know that aspect of Generation Mommy because it's not a nonprofit, but we do accept Similac, we do accept nursing supplies. We do accept diapers as well. And when we receive those items, we do distribute those out to families that are in need. So if you have some items that you want to donate, definitely you can email me at generationmommy@gmail.com. So,
Awesome. Thank you so much.
yeah.
And if you found anything in this video valuable, please like, comment, subscribe, reach out to Sunday through that email, which will be linked down in the description. All right. Thank you.